Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig through sources, notes, all sorts of things to get you the key info fast.
That's the idea.
Today we're jumping into a world hiding right under our noses, focusing on a totally normal human lawyer, Margrit Knight.
Right. And our mission here is to really unpack how Margaret, who's this sharp, very direct lawyer, gets completely pulled into the secret world of, well, they're called the old races.
The old races, okay.
Yeah, we're talking dragons, vampires, gargoyles, Djinn, selkies, beings who've apparently lived alongside us for thousands of years, hidden.
Wow.
So we'll look at the power plays, their ancient laws, and what it costs Margaret personally when she ends up right in the middle of their supernatural conflicts.
And it kicks off for her with just a phone call. Super early morning. And it sounds both, well, absurd and kind of terrifying.
Definitely. She gets this cryptic call from someone named Jenks.
Jenks, and she thinks of him as some kind of crime lord.
Right.
Reluctantly.
Exactly. But he's not. He's actually a red dragon.
A dragon. Okay,
Yeah.
So right away, the absurdity hits her.
Oh, yeah. There's this great internal thought she has. God forbid anybody should ever subpoena my phone records. Why are you calling the house instead of my cell? How in hell could I explain getting 6 o'clock phone calls from someone like you?
Huh. Yeah, that sums it up. It perfectly sets the tone, doesn't it? She's sucked in, reluctantly, but it gets deep, fast.
Totally. It's an immediate dive into the deep end. Her first real encounters are with Jenks, the dragon, and this other figure, Alessio Daisani.
Daisani. He's a vampire.
A very sophisticated, very wealthy vampire, yes. And Jenks' first request for her legal services seems simple enough, but then he drops this line, a balance has changed.
A balance has changed. Okay, that sounds significant, like really significant.
It's loaded.
What does that even mean in their world, this balance? And Margaret, this human lawyer, suddenly being involved.
Yeah.
What does that say about things? Is their world fragile or just, changing?
That phrase is absolutely key. For literally millennia, these old races had this strict, kind of unspoken rule, stay hidden from humans, and mostly don't kill each other.
Right. Keep a low profile.
Exactly. So this balance changing means that old order is breaking down. Maybe new aggressions, new ambitions, something's threatening to pull them out of the shadows.
And Margaret.
She's a wild card, a human lawyer operating outside their ancient rules. She's completely unpredictable in this shifting dynamic.
Okay, so it's not just Jenks and Daisani stirring things up. You mentioned other old races.
Yeah, the sources lay out 5 main ones still around. You've got the dragons, like Jenks, often tied to volcanic places.
Okay.
Then the Djinn, like a guy named Malik from desert regions. Djinn have their own powers, their own vulnerabilities too, surprisingly specific ones.
Interesting. Who else?
From the sea, you have the selkies. We meet Paradelaney and Kaimana Kai. Then the gargoyles, Albin Karund and Bialy are the names that come up. Very stoic.
Gargoyles. It's like stone guardians.
Kinda, yeah. And
Okay.
finally, the vampires, represented by Daisani. Each race supposedly has its own origin story, unique abilities.
So Margaret learns all this. How does that even register?
It completely flips her worldview. There's this moment where she thinks, I've seen 6 impossible things before breakfast now. I can believe in the Loch Ness Monster if I want to.
Huh. That's a great line. It really grounds how insane it all is.
It does.
Makes you think, doesn't it? How fast would your own reality crumble if you saw something truly impossible, but undeniably there?
Exactly. It's not just about, oh, monsters are real. It's your whole framework for what's normal, just shattering. And she's trying to rebuild it, but now with ancient magic in the equation.
And it's not like she can just observe. This is her job now, potentially. Daisani the vampire keeps offering her work.
Persistently. And there's this weird twist. He apparently knew her mother somehow.
Whoa, okay, that's complicated.
Yeah. Margaret's not keen at first. She pushes back, saying something like, I don't want to use all that education being your personal assistant. Very practical, very human concern.
But Daisani keeps pushing. And that family connection.
Yeah.
What's that about? Is he just looking for leverage? Why Margaret specifically?
It feels like a long game. Daisani isn't just hiring an assistant. He seems to want her. Her sharp mind, yes, but also that human connection.
The link to her mother.
Right. It suggests he's been aware of her, maybe for a long time. Remember, these beings think in centuries. A human life is short unless maybe they integrate it into their plans somehow.
So her directness makes her useful, but her humanity makes her vulnerable.
Exactly. Manipulable.
And things get messy fast. Favors, factions.
Yeah.
Jenks makes this demand, right? about Melek, the Djinn?
He does. He basically tells Margaret that taking responsibility for Melek is a favor of incalculable size.
Sounds like a threat wrapped in a compliment.
Pretty much. And Malik himself, he's arrogant, slippery, constantly testing her.
Not an easy client.
Not at all. And then Jenks compares Margaret to a jewel in your hoard.
Oof, a possession.
Yeah. Protected, maybe, but definitely owned. It really shows the power imbalance.
A jewel in his hoard. That's just chilling, isn't it? Especially for a lawyer trying to keep her independence. What does that really say about how they see humans? And how does that immediately mess things up for Margaret, especially with Malik dumped on her?
It's a fundamental clash. Jenks sees value, like property he protects but also controls. It totally undermines her professional standing, right? Puts her in this subservient role, despite her skills.
And Melek being her responsibility, suddenly it's not just legal work.
No, it's survival. It's managing this volatile, ancient being.
And the connections keep deepening. She's looking for a former client, Cara Delaney.
And that leads her to Kaimana Kaiai, who's a Hawaiian selkie.
Another old race.
Right. And here's a big reveal. Selkies and Djinn, ancient enemies.
Oh, great. So Margaret's stuck with Malik, who's the enemy of this new guy's people.
Exactly. The tension just keeps ramping up.
And Kaimana doesn't just want help finding Cara. He has a bigger plan.
A much bigger plan. It's audacious, really. He wants Margaret to be an advocate for the old races, basically to challenge their entire ancient system.
Challenge millennia of tradition.
He pushes for a public meeting at Rockefeller Center, of all places.
Rockefeller Center. Whoa, that's bold. This isn't just a legal brief, then. He's asking her to potentially blow their whole secret worldwide open. What are the risks for her in that?
Oh, the risks are huge. For her, for everyone. Nam is basically using her. A human who isn't bound by their ancient laws is the perfect tool, but also the most dangerous one to shake things up.
The unspoken risk being death.
Or worse.
Always. Or becoming a permanent pawn for powers she can't even begin to comprehend.
And it spills over into her human life, too. Kaimana involves her boyfriend, Tony.
Subtly, yeah. Tony's a cop. Kaimana arranges for him to be on the security detail for this big meeting at Rockefeller Center.
Oh, man. So her personal life is now officially collateral damage.
It's a perfect example of how the old races just use human lives, move them around like chess pieces for their own goals, creates impossible dilemmas for Margaret.
Okay, let's talk about Alban Caron, the gargoyle. He becomes important, very important. He starts as her reluctant protector. What's really cool about him is, yes, he can fly, but also this concept of gargoyle memory.
Gargoyle memory.
Their purpose is literally to preserve history. They remember everything they witness.
Wow.
But Alban, he's in exile. He broke their biggest rule. He revealed their existence to Margaret. And worse, he killed another gargoyle to protect her.
He killed one of his own. For her. That's intense. What does that say about gargoyles? Their code. They're supposed to preserve history, right?
Right. They're guardians, observers, tied to memory in stone. For Alban to break their deepest laws, revealing himself, killing his own kind, it means he perceived a threat so massive, so fundamental that it overrode everything.
Like Margaret herself, or what she represents, became more important to protect than his own people's secrecy.
That's how it seems, yes.
And he doesn't just protect her physically, he tries to get her out from under Jenks' thumb, right? Favor.
He does. He makes this incredible offer to Jenks. He says he'll basically become Jenks' slave if Jenks releases Margaret from the favor and agrees to protect Malik at night.
His own freedom. He offers himself as a slave. That says a lot about how heavy Jenks' favor must feel. Or maybe about Alban's code.
It definitely shows the weight of that favor and, yeah, the gargoyle's sense of obligation, maybe. For Alban, a stoic, independent being becoming someone's slave, that's profound dishonor.
Yet he's willing. For her.
Willing to sell his freedom to ensure hers. It suggests this protective instinct is more than just duty. Maybe something deeper, a personal connection, or maybe he knows something about her future role.
Okay, so all this leads up to the big meeting Kaimana wanted. The Grand Quorum.
At Rockefeller Center, representatives from all 5 old races. Huge deal.
How huge?
They say there's not a memory of all of us being in the same place at the same time in 500 years.
500 years. Wow.
And here's the craziest part.
Yeah.
Margaret, human Margaret, she's proposed as the moderator.
Moderator, a human.
And she ends up holding the deciding vote.
The deciding vote. On what?
On changing their fundamental laws, specifically the law against revealing themselves to humans and the ancient law against killing other old races.
Wait, she gets to decide whether they stay hidden and whether they can kill each other.
Essentially, yes. The weight on her is unbelievable. She realizes either way, you change a people's history forever.
A human lawyer deciding the fate of ancient races? I mean,
Right.
why? Are they that desperate? Or is it something else? Maybe they actually need a human perspective now.
It seems like an impasse. They're so stuck in their old ways, their old rivalries, that maybe they do need an outsider. Someone impartial, a human, to break the deadlock.
A massive gamble.
Huge. It's basically admitting their own systems have failed to keep up with this changed balance. So Margrit, the ultimate outsider, becomes their reluctant decider.
And just to make things more stable, Malik decides this is a good time to challenge Jenks.
Right in the middle of the quorum, yeah.
Yeah.
Malik makes this aggressive rite of passage challenge against Jenks.
Smooth move, Malik. So it's not just about the big picture rules, is it? Even facing huge change, their internal power struggles are still raging.
Absolutely. It shows that even at this critical moment, those deep rivalries, the hunger for power, they don't just vanish. Malik's move is pure Djinn arrogance, really, putting his own ambition ahead of any kind of fragile unity.
Okay, so what happens? Does Malik win?
No. What happens is devastating, especially for Margrit. In the chaos, she inadvertently kills Malik
Kills him. How?
with a water gun filled with salt water. Turns out that's deadly for Djinn.
Oh my god, a water gun.
Yeah. Her horror, her disbelief, it's intense. And then Albin says despairingly, "No, Margrit, I did."
What does that mean, I did?
It implies he somehow orchestrated it or allowed it, knowing the outcome, maybe to protect her from Malik long term or maybe as part of a larger plan. It's complex.
Wow. Okay, and the fallout doesn't stop there.
Not even close. Right after this, Jenks's whole operation gets raided by the police.
Raided?
Turns out Tony, Margaret's boyfriend, tipped them off. He used documents Kaimana had given him.
Kamana again.
Yep. Documents related to Margaret's own work on Jenks's potential tax evasion. It was all a very calculated manipulation by Kaimana.
Using Margaret's work, using her boyfriend. This isn't just maneuvering anymore, it's pure betrayal, isn't it? What is this show about Kamana's endgame? How ruthless are these beings?
It shows they're playing for keeps, and human connections are just tools. Kaimana saw Tony as Margaret's weak link and exploited it perfectly.
Sacrificing relationships to win.
Exactly. For them, human lives, even loved ones, seem like pieces on a very old game board. Move them, sacrifice them, whatever it takes. It's a brutal lesson for Margrit.
And the personal cost, her relationship with Tony just collapses.
Completely.
Yeah.
He feels betrayed, obviously.
Yeah.
And he just can't grasp the world she's now part of, this hidden reality he can't see.
That divide between those who know and those who don't. It seems unbridgeable here. What's the real tragedy for Margrit in losing him?
It's total isolation, isn't it? She can't explain, he can't understand. She's living in two worlds, but the normal one is now cut off. There's this line about how her inability to talk about it all seems abruptly normal, like just another constraint of her job now.
Her secret job has basically eaten her old life.
Pretty much, leaving her really alone in that normal world.
But then Daisani steps in. The vampire.
Yeah, in a surprising move, he protects Margaret's mother from a Djinn attack, possibly retaliation for Malik's death.
Protects her mother. Why?
And he tells Margrit, "I will not lose a night."
A knight. Okay, so he sees her as more than just an employee now. But is it protection or strategy? What's his angle?
With Daisani, it's probably never simple altruism. Calling her a knight suggests she's a key piece in whatever game he's playing. Protecting her mother isn't just kindness, it's an investment.
An investment in her loyalty or her dependence?
Both, likely. Cementing her need for him in this dangerous new world.
And just when you think things might settle, nope. More pressure.
Right. Grace O'Malley shows up. She's Albin's human associate.
Another human involved?
Yes, and she's furious because Jenks, thanks to that bargain Albin made.
The slave bargain.
That's the one. Jenks has now set up his operations in Grace's tunnels, where she looks after these homeless kids she protects.
Oh, man. So the consequences just keep spreading.
Exactly. Grace demands Margrit get Jenks out. It shows the ripples, right?
Yeah.
These ancient deals have very real, very human costs. Grace's anger brings it all back down to earth for Margrit.
So, despite all that chaos at the quorum, what actually got decided?
Two big things. First, the law stopping old races from breeding with humans. That's overturned.
Wow. Okay. That's huge.
Huge. The line is something like, "That allows you all to go forth and be fruitful." A massive shift towards integration, potentially.
And the other law about killing each other.
That one stays. It's not changed.
Interesting. So, embrace new life with humans, but keep the lid on killing each other.
Yeah.
Why? What's the thinking there?
It seems like a mix of hope and self-preservation. Opening up to humans might be about survival, adapting, ensuring their future maybe, but keeping the ban on killing each other. Albin argues powerfully for that.
What does he say?
Something like, we have so little besides each other, we can't let that go. It speaks to their fear of just wiping themselves out.
Especially if the balance is already shaky.
Exactly. They can't afford to turn on each other, too. It feels like pragmatic wisdom learned over thousands of years. Don't be your own worst enemy.
So where does this leave Margrit after all this?
She makes a big decision. She accepts Daisania's job offer.
The one she resisted before?
Yes. But now it's not because she feels forced. It's different. She decides to be his eyes and ears inside his corporation.
Why?
As a way to navigate this world better, to understand it, maybe influence it. She kind of rationalizes it as a different kind of making a difference.
So she's not running away from it anymore. She's leaning in. Finding a new purpose, maybe. Adapting.
It seems like it. She's a lawyer, right? She wants order, rules, influence. This is her way of maybe regaining some control, finding a new kind of role, a new kind of justice maybe inside this hidden system.
And there are hints of deeper history, too. Something about a woman named Sarah Hopkins from Albin's memories.
Yeah, involving Albin, Jenks, Daisani. It's hinted that their pasts are tangled up around this Sarah Hopkins.
And Albin warns Margrit off, tells her not to dig too deep.
He does. Which suggests that for these ancient beings, history isn't just something they remember. Sometimes it's something they actively bury.
Why? What could be so dangerous about their past?
Who knows? Old alliances, betrayals, maybe the real origin of the balance that just broke. Albin's warning implies digging it up could wreck the present even more. Maybe reveal connections between him, Jenks, and Daisani that are just too explosive.
So the current fights might just be echoes of older wounds.
Very possible.
And as her old life just dissolves, Margrit seems to find some kind of anchor with Albin.
Yeah, there's this evolving relationship, a strange kind of understanding or refuge, maybe. He gets the impossible reality she's living in.
So there's no going back for her. But what does going forward even look like for a human tangled up this deep?
It's definitely stepping into the unknown, but maybe with a new kind of strength. She's not just a human lawyer anymore. She's become this bridge between worlds. Irreplaceable in a way.
Her normal life is gone.
Gone, but maybe replaced by a new, vital purpose. Super dangerous, full of impossible choices, but a purpose nonetheless. She's learning to navigate the chaos.
So Margrit Knight's journey is really something, from everyday law to being this pivotal figure in a secret world of ancient beings, power plays, ancient laws.
It's a fascinating look at what happens when that hidden world just crashes into the mundane.
Yeah.
And how an ordinary person has to not just accept the impossible, but actually become essential to it.
It makes you think, doesn't it? About laws, societies,
Well-
whether they're human or hidden. How the rules meant to protect things can become the problem when that balance is changed.
And how sometimes, even in worlds with magic and ancient power, real change might start with just one person making an unexpected choice.
So maybe the final thought for you is this. Consider what hidden balances might be shifting in your own world, and what choices might you face when things get blurry.